On this week's show, the 6 playoff teams are set in the Canadian Football League, and Odell Beckham, Cam Newton, they have brand new teams, and there will not, I repeat, will not be an 0-17 team this NFL season.
In this week's history lesson, we tell the story of Hep's Rock at Indiana University.
That and much more this week in the world of football.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to a special post-operative edition of This Week in the World of Football. This is episode number 223 for November 16th, 2021. I am your host, Randy Snow, and across the table from me, as always, is my son, Adam.
Hello, thank you for still listening to the podcast.
That's what I sounded like yesterday.
That's what I thought you would sound like. You're the one who had the surgery, not me, everybody.
I had my wisdom teeth removed yesterday, all 4 of them, and I had swabs in my mouth all day long, kept changing them every few hours and take these blood-soaked things out of my mouth and throw them away. And yeah, I'm doing much better today, but still a little numb in some parts of my lower jaw. And
hey, the good thing to come out of all this is that you have so much ice cream now in your fridge since you can't eat solid
Reminds
food.
Me of when I was a kid and I had my tonsils out.
Yeah, that there's so much that I'm gonna have to help you get rid of some of it at some point. I mean, yeah. I saw a strawberry.
All four of those things I bought for myself.
Well, I've already dug into your strawberry cheesecake. Oh, that's so good. That pint ain't gonna make it out alive.
Yeah. We come to you each week from the World of Football Man Cave, located right here in the center of the football world, Kalamazoo, Michigan. We're here to promote the game of football in all its many forms, past, present, and future. From the NFL to the CFL to the XFL, college, high school, indoor, and arena football, we inform and entertain our listeners with the glorious buffet that is the world of football. All this while keeping a close eye on the rich history of the game. Thanks for checking out our podcast. We'd love to get your feedback on one of our many platforms: Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and now YouTube, where we post the entire audio portion of this show, as well as other selected videos. So, let's review what happened this past week, and we begin with the World of Football scoreboard.
That's right. If you listened to our picks last week, you'll know they didn't go so well.
No.
But a lot of upsets, a lot of blowouts, and
yeah,
by gosh, we might even see a tie for all we know. But we start with the Thursday night games, and who saw this coming? The Miami Dolphins defeated the Baltimore Ravens 22-10. Miami is their first ever home win against Baltimore. Well, not first ever. The first home win against Baltimore since week 13 of 2015.
Off by only 10 years.
Yeah, only by 10 years. You look like you were going to say something else before I kept talking.
No.
Okay, moving on. The Buffalo Bills handled the New York Jets 45-17.
Oh, I was going to say something.
Oh, gosh. Here we go. Are those drugs already messing with your head?
That was the first time that we did not pick the Thursday night game right this season.
That's true.
We're now 9-1 picking Thursday night. We were perfect up until last week, so yeah. Thanks a lot, Miami.
Yeah. And for back to the Buffalo game, the 45-17 victory, that's the most points Buffalo has scored against the New York Jets since week 4 of
2015.
1979. We're jumping way, way back. You were just a fresh pup out of high school back then.
79. I was driving my Mustang back then. I had a
were
79
you?
Mustang then. Yeah.
Rub it in. Here we go. The Washington football team upset the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 29-19. This is the first ever win at home. I keep saying ever. I don't mean ever. The first win at home against Tampa Bay since week 7 of
1942.
2015. Man, you're not good at this game,
That was going to be my second choice.
Yeah. Then down in Dallas, the Cowboys defeated the Atlanta Falcons 43-3 for Dallas's largest margin of victory since week 8 of
1997.
2000. The Tennessee Titans escaped the New Orleans Saints 23-21. Tennessee has now won 6 straight games, which is the longest active streak in the league right now.
Yeah.
The Indianapolis Colts took care of the Jacksonville Jaguars 23-17. Jonathan Taylor has had 1 or more rushing touchdowns in 7 straight games, which is the longest Indianapolis streak since 1980. Fun little fact there. The Cleveland Browns got decimated by the New England Patriots 45 7. Mac Jones is the first rookie, the New England Patriots quarterback, mind you. First rookie with 3+ passing touchdowns and no interceptions in a game in New England history.
I thought the Browns would play him a little closer.
We all did.
Man, that's so strange this season. I think maybe next week I'm just going to pick against myself. Every team I think is going to win, I'm going to vote against myself.
Don't do that. You already you blew my lead. You blew. I got a big old hole to dig myself out of. That. So listen to those every Thursday, everybody, if you're following our YouTube channel. But moving on, the Minnesota Vikings defeated the Los Angeles Chargers 27-20 on the road. Kirk Cousins 12 passing touchdowns and no interceptions in his 5 road games this season. And then the game we don't want to talk about, but I guess we have to talk about. The Detroit Lions defeated the Pittsburgh Steelers in a moral victory of certain capacities, 16-16. So I guess we call that a tie. But I mean, for us, it's a win.
Well, I broke out a brand new Lions T-shirt because I'm celebrating the fact that they will not go 0-17 this year.
Check that out on the Picks video, everybody.
Oh man, this is years ago. Harvard and Yale played to a tie, and the famous headline in the Harvard newspaper was Harvard beats Yale 16-16, whatever the final score was. They felt it was a victory because they came from behind, scored 2 touchdowns in the last minute and a half or something like that, and it came away with a tie on a 2-point conversion. So, well,
the difference between that and this is neither of these teams wanted to play, or wanted to win the game.
They both played like crap in the overtime period, and they both played like crap in the regulation.
Well, one of the big stories, from that we need to talk about also is Ben Roethlisberger ruled out because of COVID-19.
Right.
And I think if he would have played, I think it would have been a Steeler victory. But Mason Rudolph fills in, and not that Mason Rudolph played poorly, but Mason Rudolph did not play great either.
He started out pretty good in that game. But, just towards the end, he just wasn't there. Detroit missed an extra point.
That's the big difference.
That would have not sent the game into overtime. And then in overtime, they had a shot at a field goal. I forget how long that was. It wasn't that long.
It was like 47 yards, I want to say.
I was going to say 43, but yeah, in the 40s. And I don't even think it made the goalpost. I think
somebody thought it got tipped, but it was just a bad kick. Like, it literally did not touch any hands. It was one of the worst field goals I've ever seen kicked.
And when I saw the replay, I thought, well, maybe nobody did touch it, but it came low off his foot.
That was bad.
Yeah, so two kicks there where they could have won the game for us.
Yeah, Detroit with fewer than 20 points in 8 straight games, which is their longest streak since 1988. I wasn't even born yet.
Yeah.
But also from this game, the Lions had 200 yards rushing. Who saw that coming?
Their running game was really going in the first 3 quarters anyway.
Yeah, and then eventually Pittsburgh kind of figured it out, and then both teams kind of stalemated each other.
Right.
Jared Goff definitely played one of his worst games we've ever seen. Yeah. He was hurt apparently, but for some reason did not go to the bench. In overtime, the Lions had a shot to win it with the field goal, missed it. Pittsburgh gets the ball back. Pittsburgh throws this great throw along the sideline. Player catches it, and I saw nothing but green grass. Like, I knew this. Right. All this guy had to do was juke a defender, and there was green grass. Probably, maybe not got a touchdown, but could have gotten into field goal range off of that one, yard after catch. Yeah. But then, the craziest thing happens, and the Lions defender comes up, punches the ball out.
That was a great...
Detroit gets the ball back, move. And you're like, oh my gosh, now a field goal that's all you need to win it, because that first field goal Detroit had would have just given the ball back to Pittsburgh anyway, because it was... you had to score a touchdown first, remember, to seal the game. Right. But if you kick a field goal, the other team still gets an opportunity.
Right.
So the ball would have gone to Pittsburgh, even if the Lions would have made that field goal. But... so the Lions get the ball again. I believe that's how the sequence of events happened. I don't think we punted. Maybe did we punt off the bat? I forget. It might have been. It might have been the game winner. That maybe I'm getting my facts mixed up, but maybe that would have been the game winner had he made it. Regardless, Lions get the ball back after the ball gets punched out. Then maybe that's. I don't remember that whole game. I'm not even exaggerating when I say this is one of the worst football games we've ever watched. Because then the Lions didn't turn it over, but they had to punt, or maybe that's when the missed field goal happened. Then Pittsburgh goes back down the field with time running out, and you just think they're going to go down and kick the field goal to win the game with like 16 seconds left. But then another Lion favorable thing happens, and the Pittsburgh Steelers player just fumbles the ball along the sideline. Lion player jumps out with 8 seconds left, and there's your tie. It was unbelievable this game.
Yeah, and I thought if they were going to try a Hail Mary, that they should have put the backup Blau in just for that one thing, because I knew that Goff did not have the arm strength, and he acted like he was hurt.
I know there's a couple times. I mean, they waited till overtime for Goff to sling a couple downfield, but man, where was that all game long?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the only good thing is that they will not go 0-16. They could go 0-16-1, but they will not go 0-17 this year. So that's why I'm wearing a new shirt. Celebrate that.
All right.
No 0-17 students.
All right. No more disappointing Lions talk. Let's move on to, how about this? The Carolina Panthers go in and defeat the Arizona Cardinals 34-10. But the story of this game, Cam Newton got signed by the Panthers later in the week.
Right.
Returning to Carolina, it was all a hullabaloo. We're like, okay, so he'll probably just sit the bench this first game. But they said he's going to be active. So I was like, okay, maybe they'll throw him in for a couple of plays. But he went in there, he scored 2 touchdowns.
Right.
And
ran one in and passed.
Yeah, and what's funny is my roommate was there with another friend of ours from our fantasy league who's a Carolina Panthers fan, and Cam Newton is who his team is named after. Wham Bam, thank Cam. So he gets to fly out to Arizona to see my roommate. He gets to go to a game which just so happens to be Cam Newton's first game back as a Carolina Panther player. And then Cam Newton scores 2 touchdowns in the game. He might have had more. I didn't look at his stat line. I saw the replay of the 2 touchdowns he had.
I think the 2, and they were both kind of early in the game.
Yeah,
I think.
And so he got to see all that. It's like, what a great memory for him being a Panthers fan. And you get to upset the Cardinals, who were the best team in the league, it was looking like. But, I mean, Arizona without DeAndre Hopkins and without Kyler Murray this week. So
yeah, your old roommate was sending you pictures when they got to the stadium.
Yeah, they had decent seats, yeah.
Did they go to see the Pat Tillman
Not
statue?
that I'm aware of that. I didn't see any pictures of that. They might not have. But a lot of other pictures, they were at the game. Looks like they got to meet a bunch of other Cardinal fans and go to the gift shop, which we were in before. So so Carolina's now won each of their last 6 games against the Cardinals by 10 points, and that includes 10 points or more, and that includes playoff games. Moving on, the Philadelphia Eagles decimated the Denver Broncos 30-13. DeAndre, what's his name? Devontae Smith, the Heisman Trophy winner, is the first Philadelphia rookie with 2 or more receiving touchdowns in a game since Week 10 of 2014. I'm not going to make you do that one.
Okay, good.
But good game for him. Then we're going to move on. Aaron Rodgers and Mr. Russell Wilson got to play in their matchup between the Packers and the Seahawks on Sunday, but it was the Packers who got the best of the Seahawks 17-0. I believe that is the first time Russell Wilson has ever been shut out. So no points for them at all. Green Bay has now won 10 straight home games against Seattle. That also includes the playoffs. You taking care of your phone over there that keeps going off during our podcast?
It's fine. It won't.
Yeah, okay. I doubt that. Everything happens in threes. Then our Sunday night game, the Kansas City Chiefs dismantled, deleted, whatever you want to call it, decimated. The Las Vegas Raiders 41-14. Patrick Mahomes had 406 passing yards and 5 touchdowns to look like his old self. It only took half the season, but is it too early to say the Chiefs are back?
I don't know. I'm going to give it a few more games before I say that they're back.
Yeah, I don't blame you. And then, you know who else is back, Randy? You know who else is back? Come on.
I don't know.
Odell Beckham Jr. is back in the NFL. This time he's with the Los Angeles Rams. He signed later in the week.
As I predicted last week, didn't I say he should have, when they announced that the Browns released him, I said he should be going to SoFi Stadium and knocking on the door, and that's exactly what happened.
I think a lot of people, that was kind of the dark horse one, but a lot of people were thinking Packers were going to get him, but nope, he goes to the Rams, and then the Rams get that freak accident out of Robert Woods, one of their other receivers who went down with a season-ending ACL injury, I want to say.
Yeah, I think so.
So that kind of a tough break. You get Odell, then you lose one of your other best receivers. And I watched only a little bit of the beginning of this game, and I don't know if it was Stafford who was off, if it was just a whole team thing. But the 49ers gave them a whomping, 31-10. The 49ers take the victory.
It started out just like last week where 2 interceptions early by Stafford led to a 14-0 deficit.
Yeah.
And so that's exactly what happened last week. They were never able to crawl out of that. It wasn't just Stafford, it was the entire team. He was putting the ball right in guys' hands, and they were just dropping them. Nobody was even around him, and they were just dropping the passes. Yeah. So the whole team was discombobulated. I don't know why, but they were not ready to play.
It's so weird, especially from a Sean McVay team, which always seems to be prepared. And to drop 2 games in a row the way they did. One game, maybe, but like 2 games in a row, that's really weird and rare.
Well, this bye week can't come at a better time for the Rams, so they get their heads back together and make a push towards the playoffs.
But yeah, Odell, I don't know if he even had a stat line at all during the. Oh, he had 1 catch. The very first play, I remember that. Yeah,
2 catches.
The very first play, Stafford threw him a quick little route to the outside. Like they were like, all right, let's get this out of the way, get it to Odell.
Yep. And then another time he targeted him.
Yeah.
Yep, but he cut off his route and it got intercepted.
Yeah,
and then he did catch a second pass a little later on. So 2 catches.
Yep, and then Von Miller making his first start with the Rams as well. I saw a great replay of Travis Kelce pancake blocking Von Miller. It was actually pretty funny to see. But yeah, I mean, these Rams should have been a juggernaut now with all the star power they've added, and this loss is surprising. And for Jimmy Garoppolo, let's talk about the 49ers quarterback for a second. 5-0 career record against the Los Angeles Rams.
Wow.
So, could he be Sean McVay's kryptonite?
I don't know. Right now, I'd say he is.
Yep. And then on by the Texans, Bears, Bengals, and Giants. And with that, we shift up to the Great White North, where we're going to talk about Mounties and maple syrup and
Maple Leaves.
Maple Leaves, I get. Okay, I can think of a third thing. And the Canadian Football League. And we're going to start with Friday night. The Toronto Argonauts defeated the Hamilton Tiger Cats 31-12, helping Toronto clinch the Eastern Division title for the first time since
2017.
And you only knew that because it was in the notes.
Yeah, I wrote it.
Yep. Toronto quarterback McLeod Bethel Thompson was 26 of 34 for 250 yards passing and a touchdown, while wide receiver Curly Gittins caught 7 passes for 72 yards and a touchdown. Defensive back Chris Edwards returned an interception, 78 yards for a touchdown in the closing minutes of the game, to just add insult to injury for basically. Toronto. Hamilton quarterback Jeremiah Masoli was 22 of 40 for 326 yards, 0 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, while wide receiver Tim White caught 5 passes for 110 yards, which averaged out to about 22 yards per catch for those of you who aren't good at math. Yeah, that's nuts. That's a lot of yards per catch. Then Hamilton players wore a sticker on their helmets with the number 68 in honor of Angelo Mosca, who died last week. They will wear them for the rest of the season, which for Hamilton does get to go into the playoffs.
Yes. This was week 15. They've got one more week of the regular season, and then it's playoffs time. Yep. And Toronto or Hamilton will be in the playoffs. Yep. So.
And we'll talk about the playoffs in a minute. I would assume you got
Angelo Mosca, we had his obituary last week. Just a legendary player up there for that team. And sorry to hear about that.
Yep. Also Friday night, the Calgary Stampeders got a win over the British Columbia Lions, 33-23. Calgary clinching the last playoff spot available. For Calgary, Bo Levi Mitchell, their quarterback, was 20 of 26 for 264 yards passing with 3 touchdowns. Running back Kadeem Carey ran the ball 15 times for 85 yards and a touchdown, while wide receiver Reggie Beggleton caught 7 passes for 115 yards and a touchdown. For British Columbia, quarterback Michael Riley was 30 of 37 for 340 yards and a touchdown.
In a losing cause.
Wide receiver Javon Katoy caught 6 passes for 70 yards and a touchdown. Then in the fourth quarter, British Columbia wide receiver Lucky Whitehead had an 85-yard punt return for a touchdown called back because of 2 penalties.
That was a sweet play, but the flags were flying.
And it
not one, but 2 penalties on that play.
And it would have given British Columbia the lead in that one. Yep. So, boy, we've talked about Lucky Whitehead several times this season. I swear, I feel like we've brought his name up at least once every week. We talk about
for
CFL.
A while there was. It was like 2 or 3 weeks in a row, and then he'd be quiet for a while, and then you'd hear his name again. But that was just he's done that all season long. Returned kicks and punts, and had long receptions for touchdowns and this one got called back. So, but go check out the highlights of that. That was a nice return.
All right, how about this? The Montreal Alouettes shocked the Winnipeg Blue Bombers 28-14 After clinching the top spot in the Western Conference, Winnipeg rested quite a few of their starters. Zach Collaros also sat out with an injury, so backup quarterback Shawn Maguire made his first CFL start for the Blue Bombers, and it obviously didn't go so well. He was 11 of 26 for 149 yards, 1 touchdown, and 4 interceptions.
Yeah.
Wide receiver Darvin Adams caught 2 passes for 52 yards. I'm surprised you didn't do the math average on that.
No.
26 yards a catch. And a touchdown. I did that in my head. For Montreal, quarterback Trevor Harris was 18 of 25 for 144 yards and 3 touchdowns, while wide receiver Eugene Lewis caught 6 passes for 51 yards and 2 touchdowns. And before this loss, Winnipeg had previously won 9 straight games.
Yeah, their last loss was in week 3.
Yeah, against Toronto.
Yep.
So I was a little surprised when I saw the end result. I was like, they had to have sat some guys. I don't see that Winnipeg team.
They had nothing
losing.
to play for. They've already clinched the Western Conference. They could lose these last 2 games. It didn't matter. The road to the Grey Cup is still going through Winnipeg.
Might as well rest a bunch of your guys for a few weeks. Yeah. And then finally, Saturday night, the Saskatchewan Roughriders defeated the Edmonton Elks 29-24. Saskatchewan will host the Western Conference semifinal game on November 28th against Calgary. Saskatchewan quarterback Cody Fajardo was 23 of 32 for 245 yards and 3 touchdowns. He also ran 5 times for another 22 yards. Then you had wide receiver Daquille Williams, who caught 8 passes for 146 yards and a touchdown. For Edmonton, quarterback Taylor Cornelius was 20 of 30 for 224 yards and 3 touchdowns. He also ran twice for another 11 yards, while wide receiver Jalen Tolliver caught 5 passes for 98 yards and 2 touchdowns. Edmonton, while putting up a good fight, came up just short of a win.
Yeah, it was close right up till the end. Edmonton's having a really bad year this year, but they played really well in this game, but just not quite enough.
Yeah. And then on by this week, the Ottawa Red Blacks, who will finish out their season next week against the Montreal Alouettes. And then we do have some CFL action tonight.
Yeah.
As the Edmonton Elks will play the Toronto Argonauts.
Yeah, like I said last week, Edmonton is going to be playing 3 games in this last week of the season. They had the game, Saturday night, and now they've got a game tonight, and then they've got another game on Friday at British Columbia. So 3 road games. They go from Saskatchewan to Toronto to British Columbia. So they are all over the place. 3 road games to finish the season, and all within 7 days.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. And so real quick, we're going to go through the standings in the CFL. With 1 week to go, Winnipeg, like we said, clinched that number 1 seed in the West. They have an 11-2 record, followed by the number 2 seed, which will be Saskatchewan at 9-4. And then the 3rd seed, Calgary at a 7-6 record. And then eliminated from the playoffs, British Columbia at 4-9 and Edmonton at 2-10. On the eastern side of things, Toronto obviously clinching the first seed in the East with a 9-4 record, followed by Hamilton at 7-6 and Montreal at 7-6. And I would assume they're still going to battle it out to see who gets to host that semifinal game.
Yeah, that hasn't been determined yet.
Yep. And then finally, Ottawa at 2-11. And then you have an odd fact here, or we already went over that?
I already went over that one.
All right.
I kind of jumped ahead.
Cool, you're good. And then that finishes off our CFL talk. And now we can throw it over to you as we go over the college landscape of football things.
Yeah, this was week 11, and we're going to start with the top 4, and these are based on the playoff rankings. Number 1 in the FBS, anyway. Number 1, Georgia over Tennessee, 41-17. It was number 2, Alabama over New Mexico State, 59-3. Wow. Number 3, Oregon over Washington State, 38-24. And number 4, Ohio State over number 19, Purdue, 59-31.
Wow, yeah. I know that we get the playoff rankings here in about an hour and a half or so.
Yep.
But I don't see much change based on those results.
Probably not. They'll probably stay the same for another week.
So,
all right, in the top 25 upsets, it was number 13, Baylor, upsetting number 8, Oklahoma, 27-14. Number 15, Ole Miss upset number 11, Texas A&M, 29-19. And unranked Mississippi State upset number 17, Auburn, 43-34. Blowouts and shutouts, well, we've already talked about a couple of blowouts, or a couple of teams that scored over 50 points in the top 4. But the one big blowout this week was Middle Tennessee State over Florida International, 50-10. 10. In military academy scores, Navy was on a bye, but Army played, and they beat up on FCS Bucknell 63-10. And then Air Force defeated Colorado State 35-21. I caught some of this game, the Air Force game, the other night. And they were wearing those helmets, the camouflage ones with the like the star logo that you see on the tail of the airplane.
Yep.
I love those helmets. They debuted them a couple weeks ago, and those are really cool. So that was nice to see. So yeah, so Army is sitting at 6-3. They're bowl eligible, and Air Force is bowl eligible also at 7-3 so far this season. In other scores, last Tuesday night, after we got done podcasting, Western Michigan defeated the Akron Zips by a score of 45-40. Western Michigan is now bowl eligible, and man, that game, Western should have won that game hands down, but oh my gosh, Akron was right there all game long, wouldn't go away, and it came down to a final, Hail Mary by Akron, and we knocked the ball down in the end zone, or we could have lost that game too. So pretty exciting game, even though it was very frustrating for a Western Michigan fan, but Western improves to 6-4, and that's how they became bowl eligible. In other scores, it was Texas Tech over Iowa State 41-38. The winning points in this game were a 62-yard field goal on the last play of the game as time expired. 62-yard field goal.
That's pretty
crazy. I didn't catch the guy's name, but I posted a video of that kick just today. I found it, so you can go out to our World of Football Twitter page and see that kick. Let's see. It was Florida over an FCS team, Samford, by the score of 70-52. That's a total of 122 points scored in that game. Let's see. SMU over UCF 55-28, and Kansas over Texas 57-56 in overtime.
Yeah, this game was a heartbreaker there for the Texas fans.
Yeah, was it a 2-point conversion in overtime
I believe so.
That did them in. Yeah, it was. And that's 113 points total in that game alone. So wow, some wild games this weekend.
Yep.
And now looking ahead to tonight, I told you last week that Western Michigan has 3 straight Tuesday night games, and this is the second of the 3. So tonight it's Western Michigan with a record of 6-4, traveling across the state to Eastern Michigan over in Ypsilanti, who is also 6-4. And that game is going to be on ESPN2 at 7 o'clock tonight. So we get to watch another Western game tonight. I hope it's not as frustrating as last week's game was.
Well, it can't be more frustrating than that Lions game was.
Yeah. I've already forgotten about that game.
No, you didn't.
No, I haven't. All right, some lower-level college football spotlight scores. At the FCS level, it was Weber State shutting out Southern Utah 62-0. In Division II, it was West Florida over Valdosta State, 61-42. That's 103 total points in that game. In Division III, North Central of Illinois over North Park, 84-6. In the NAIA, it was number 9 Concordia of Michigan over St. Francis of Fort Wayne, Indiana, 37-7. In the junior college ranks, it was Monroe College over Hocking, 49-3. Snow College is done for the season. They ended their season last week with a 7-1 regular season record. Not sure if they're going to be making the playoffs or if they're going to play any postseason games yet. We'll find out soon. Let's see. U Sports up in Canada. They're into their playoffs up there already. And it was Bishops over Mount Allison, 23-5. And in the Canadian Junior Football League, they're also in their playoffs. It was the London Beef Eaters shutting out the Hamilton Hurricanes 24-0. And that is it for our World of Football scoreboard all across North America.
Wow.
All right, we're going to go on to some NFL news. The Packers have been fined $300,000 by the NFL, and they also fined quarterback Aaron Rodgers a mere $14,650 for his lying about being vaccinated against COVID-19. Not nearly enough, in this reporter's opinion, when you consider the fact that the Cowboys wide receiver CeeDee Lamb was fined $20,000 for having his shirt untucked last week.
Now, I might be wrong in terms of Mr. Lamb, but I think he's been a repeat offender, and that's why his fine is so high.
Okay.
Because, you're a repeat offender, so you keep getting fined more and more.
Sure.
So, but even then, for not tucking your shirt in, $20,000.
Right.
Come on, compared to COVID-19, which has killed people. Tuck shirt is not killed. Well, hold on. I won't say it's never killed anybody, but I'm just saying the two, I don't see how they come up with these numbers. Like, okay,
slapping the wrist to our star player. Yeah. Slapping the wrist to our star team.
Probably not even as much as he made doing like one episode of Jeopardy. So like, who are they kidding here with a lot of it? It's a joke.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, if you don't want to take the shot, why don't you just man up and say, I'm not taking the shot, I don't believe
because
it.
You know why?
Because
people will go out and persecute and they'll witch hunt him, which I'm not, don't advocate. I mean, I think people should get vaccinated, but if that's your choice, that's your choice. Like what?
Right.
I'm not going to make you, or nobody should be able to make anybody do anything. But if it's the rules of your,
well, by lying about it, then he didn't have to go through all the protocols that all the other players had to go through. Who said, I'm not getting the shot? No, he didn't do that.
And then I guess his post game press conference after the game on Sunday, he did it over Zoom because he didn't want to wear a mask. So. I don't know.
That's what he should have been doing all along.
Maybe, but I don't know. I don't see why. Like, and it's not like he straight up lied. He kind of did that thing where it was like he skirted around it, and he phrased it in such a way which made you think he was saying. But if you actually listen to what he's saying, it's like, I've been immunized, which doesn't mean. So
now it's a lie, and he's basically said he lied about it.
Yeah. So it's a whole thing, and whatever. I mean. I don't want to get into it. We've talked about our stance on.
Yeah, nothing's going to happen. They've slapped him on the wrist. Okay, so now everything's fine, I guess.
Yeah, whatever.
Let's see. We've already talked about Cam Newton coming back to the Panthers. We've already talked about Odell Beckham Jr. re-signing. His deal was a 1-year deal worth $4.25 million. And I think I heard that $3 million of that is all in guarantees.
Probably.
No, it's in incentives.
Oh, incentives.
Yeah, it's
that makes sense.
All in incentives. So if he doesn't perform well, he could be looking at $1.25 million. So, all right. Another thing, we were watching the Thursday night game, or I was watching it anyway. I think you'd already gone to bed. You had to work the next morning. The referees in the Thursday night game were wearing the initials CM on their hats in honor of former referee Carl Madsen, who died a few weeks ago after working a game as a replay official. We did his obituary also. Yeah. And then I also saw the initials on some referee hats in the Lions-Steelers game, and last night's Monday night game I saw the initials again. So I guess all the referees are wearing them. I assume they're probably going to wear those for the rest of the season also, but I did notice that. And that's the first time I think I've ever seen referees wearing any sort of tribute to anybody. So I think that's kind of nice that they did that. Let's see, former Las Vegas Raiders coach John Gruden is officially suing the NFL and Commissioner Roger Goodell over the release of his emails that caused him to have to resign. And you wanted to talk about this before, and I said no, because it was just a rumor that he might sue the league. Right. I didn't want to talk about it until after it happened, so I guess now it has happened, so he has sued the league, or he's filed.
Like I said, this story ain't going to go away anytime soon. There's going to be so much dirty laundry that'll probably come out as a result of this. And good luck, NFL, coming out of this unscathed. I mean, the only redemption.
If I'm going down, I'm taking everybody
pretty
with
much.
Me.
The only thing that's going to get you out of this is the fact that even through a bunch of dumb scandals, fans are still going to flock to go watch NFL games. They'll take their lumps. I'm sure there'll be a lot of embarrassing stuff that might even get some other people fired, but the NFL will still be standing, I hope. Knock on wood.
No, they're untouchable, no matter what kind of scandals. You've had owners in scandals, and you've had other players in scandals. And, some people, they get booted out right away, and others, they just look the other way. It just depends. All right, our last NFL story here. For the first time in 10 years, and just the 6th time in team history, the Packers are selling stock in the team again. They need money, so that's how they go about getting it. The team is hoping to raise $90 million to fund concourse upgrades and new video boards at Lambeau Field. The Packers are selling 300,000 shares of stock at $300 each. And that sale is going on through February 25th of 2022. You can go to packersstock.com and get all the details and plunk down your money if you want. Other years when the team sold stock were 1923, 1935, 1950, 1997, and 2011. So, yeah, that's, I remember them selling stock several years ago when they wanted to do more upgrades to the stadium, so that's where they got it from.
If you are purchasing multiple certificates for yourself or as gifts for family or friends, you will need to purchase them each one at a time. After completing your first purchase and selecting proceed, you will be prompted to set a password to secure your information. A single certificate may represent 1 to 200 common shares. You will be able to select the number of shares during the purchase process. Sorry, as I sit here and purchase...
You're not going to
purchase my rival team's stock so that I can make them plummet.
No. Well, they were talking on the news this morning. You don't get any dividends from the stock. You don't have any voting rights. It's basically they're selling you a piece of paper so that they can raise money.
And if I can hang that piece of paper right here behind me that says Adam Snow, Green Bay Packer owner, I will.
You would upset me to no end.
Hey.
I know that's more incentive for you to do it, but
yes.
Yeah. There was an arena team, I think in Milwaukee, that was going to be selling stock in their team, and I was going to buy some stock in that team, but they weren't around more than a season or two, and before you knew it, they were gone. So,
I mean, let's just say, like, if I could have my plaque on the wall back there say Green Bay Packer owner and fan-controlled football owner, I mean,
oh, please.
I'd be on cloud 9.
Yeah. You do that.
I'm gonna. You just watch. I'm gonna wait. You're gonna wake up Christmas morning with a package that's addressed to you, but you open it and then it'll say to Adam, and then you'll hand it back to me, and I'll be like, "Oh, look, it's my ownership of the Packers." Do you think I'd get a Super Bowl ring if they win the Super Bowl this year?
No.
Why not?
You get nothing.
That's bullcrap. I'm gonna FaceTime Aaron Rodgers about this.
Oh, sure. Okay, CFL news. A band called Arkells.
The Arkells.
Well, they don't call them the Arkells.
I call them the Arkells.
They just call them Arkells. But anyway, they're going to be performing at the halftime show of the Grey Cup this year. And I've been familiar with this band for a while because they put out a song and a video a few years ago about the Ticats called The Ticats Are Humming because they are from Hamilton. So they're big fans of the Hamilton Tiger Cats. That's their hometown team. And... yeah, it's a cool song and a cool video.
Yeah, we all know because when you first heard it, God, you played it on repeat so much. I'm pretty sure your ears were bleeding.
It's a cool song. I've got a link to it on our website on the links page. Go to the links page and click on videos, and it'll scroll you all the way down to the bottom of that page, and you'll find Arkells, Ticats Are Humming. So check that out. Okay, the National Arena League has announced that they're going to have an expansion team next year called the San Antonio Gunslingers.
See, that sounds very familiar.
Where have I heard that before?
I don't know. Where have you heard it before?
Yeah, they were a USFL team back in 84 and 85. And I also saw that the American Arena League had a team called the San Antonio Gunslingers last year also. I don't remember that.
I don't remember much about the American Arena League.
Yeah, but they might not have lasted long. I don't know. But yeah, San Antonio Gunslingers, come on. Leave the USFL names alone.
Yeah, leave them for the new USFL to play with.
I don't want to see a Michigan Panthers team and a National Arena League team, or
I mean, arena football that'd be totally different. But I mean,
well, but still, we've had the Detroit Drive and what was the other, Detroit Fury and the Grand Rapids Rampage. Get your own name. Don't recycle somebody else's name. Get your own name.
And get a better logo. I'm sorry, but that logo is trash.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they're lower tier indoor football, but come on. I've seen some really creative stuff out there, and that just seemed like, the worst. Just like, let's just throw let's go to Microsoft Paint and, well, not Paint. You find those little old clip art. That's what it was, like old school clip art, and just put up make it a couple colors. We'll call it good.
Yeah, it was like a couple of crossed pistols, and it was the guy. It was like a mask because you couldn't even see the cowboy's face. All you could see was like his eyes behind the crossed pistols.
Terrible logo design.
Yeah, not very good. All right, in some college news, the Mid-America Conference, where Western Michigan resides, will not be pursuing expansion at this time. I didn't even know they were pursuing expansion. I mean, we're here in the Mid-America Conference. I didn't know about this. But
I mean, in fairness, all conferences seem to be looking to expand.
Right, yeah, and they're exploring the possibility, but apparently they're going to stay with their current 12 teams. I guess Middle Tennessee State had been invited to join the MAC, but Middle Tennessee decided that they wanted to stay in Conference USA. And I also saw Western Kentucky as a name that possibly might be coming to the MAC, but I guess that's all just going by the wayside now. So the max stays at 12 teams that they've got, and not sure if or when they'll expand. Another college story, Barry Sanders was added to the Oklahoma State Ring of Honor last week, and he also got a statue outside the stadium. So congratulations to him. What took you so long, Oklahoma State?
Right.
I mean, he was a Heisman Trophy winner back in '88, wasn't he? And it's taking you this long
33 years ago?
Yeah, taking you this long to put him in your Ring of Honor? Come on. All right, there are 3 undefeated teams left in the FBS. There is Georgia at 10-0, Cincinnati at 10-0, and UTSA, the Roadrunners, at 10-0. So those are your last 3 undefeated teams. I don't know if I can see Georgia going 12-0, but I don't know. We'll see if the other two can end up undefeated at the end of the season here. See where they wind up in the rankings. Arena Football TV on YouTube, their channel is up to 986 subscribers. I just checked it a little while ago. They're looking to get to 1,000, and they've only got 14 to go. You can help them out by subscribing to this great page. A lot of great videos, over 500 videos of old arena games.
Yep.
Some are really good and nice and clear. Others are a little bit
rough around the edges.
Because they're all from VHS tapes, some of them, but really cool. One of the games that they put out this past week, the Cleveland Thunderbolts, which you don't see very much.
Nope.
They got these little. They had like a blue helmet with these silver lightning bolts, and they were on the front, and they kind of looked like the Eagles helmets, but they were like lightning bolts going off there. And they were playing the Miami Hooters. Who would not want to watch a game featuring the Miami Hooters? And as it turns out, Don Strock, I don't know if you remember him, he was a backup behind Brian Greasy, I think, back in their Super Bowl days. He was a longtime backup there in Miami. He was the head coach of the Miami Hooters in this game in 1993. So check that out on Arena Football TV on YouTube. All right, we do have a couple of obituaries this week, 3 of them to be exact, and this is where we take a moment to honor those who made the world of football a better place. The first one is Sam Huff, a linebacker in the NFL for 13 seasons, has passed away at the age of 87. Huff played college football at West Virginia and was selected in the 3rd round of the 1956 NFL Draft by the New York Giants. He played for the Giants from 1956 to 1963 and won an NFL title in his rookie season. He also played for the Washington Redskins from 1964 to 1969. In 1960, Huff was the subject of a CBS documentary called The Violent World of Sam Huff, which was narrated by Walter Cronkite. After his playing days were over, he went into broadcasting. He started out working Giants games in 1972 and then began calling Redskins games in 1975. He retired from broadcasting Washington games after the 2012 seasons. Man, he was a long-time radio broadcaster there. Huff was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1982, and in 1988 he published his autobiography entitled Tough Stuff.
Our second obituary is that of Roger Zatkoff, a linebacker and defensive end in the NFL for 6 seasons and has passed away at the age of 90. Zatkoff played college football at Michigan and was selected in the 5th round of the 1953 NFL Draft by the Green Bay Packers. He played in Green Bay from 1953 to 1956. The Packers then traded him to the Cleveland Browns, but Zatkoff balked at going there. The Browns then decided to trade him to the Los Angeles Rams, but he did not want to move his pregnant wife that far and contacted Commissioner Bert Bell to intervene. Bell worked out a deal to have the Browns trade him to the Detroit Lions, where he played from 1957 to 1958, beating the Browns in the 57 NFL Championship game. In 1985, Zatkoff was inducted into Michigan's Hall of Honor. Zatkoff is the 4th former Lions player to pass away recently, along with Roger Brown, Pat Studstill, and Mike Lucci.
And finally, our last obituary is that of Mike Pitts, a defensive tackle in the NFL for 12 seasons. He has passed away at the age of 61. Pitts played college football at Alabama and was the 16th overall pick in the 1983 NFL Draft by the Atlanta Falcons. He played in Atlanta from 1983 to 1986, and for the Philadelphia Eagles from 1987 to 1992. In 1991, Pitts played on the Eagles' number 1 ranked defensive unit known as Gang Green. He finished his playing career with the New England Patriots in 1993 and 1994. And that's it for our obituaries. We do have a birthday to celebrate today. November 16th, defensive end Harvey Martin, born on this date in 1950. He died in 2001 at the age of 51. He played his college football at Division II Texas A&M Commerce. He was selected in the 3rd round of the 1973 NFL Draft by the Dallas Cowboys and played 11 NFL seasons, all with the Cowboys from 1973 to 1983, and he was on the team that won Super Bowl 12. All right. Anything pop up on your phone that we need to talk about before we get into this week's history lesson?
Not really. Looks like we are in the clear in terms of breaking football news right now. So.
Okay. All right. Well, this week we have a story from Indiana University, and it's the story of something down there known as Hep's Rock. In the beginning, it was simply known as the Rock, a huge chunk of limestone that was removed from the football team's practice field at Indiana University in 2005. It was placed on a granite pedestal in the north end zone of the stadium. Terry Hepner also became the head coach at Indiana in 2005. In his first season as head coach, he started the tradition of having his players touch the rock on their way from the locker room to the field on game days. Prior to coming to Indiana, Coach Hep, as he was known, was the head coach at Miami of Ohio from 1999 to 2004. Hepner was only at Indiana for 2 short years, in 2005 and 2006, before brain cancer forced him to stop coaching. In his 2 seasons at the helm, his teams went 4-7 in 2005 and 5-7 in 2006. One thing that he brought to the team during his short time at the school was the phrase, "Play 13." It meant that the goal of the team each year should be to play its 12-game schedule and then play a 13th game, a bowl game. The team had not been to a bowl game since 1993, when they lost to Virginia Tech 45-20 in the Independence Bowl. The year after Hepner stepped down as head coach, Bill Lynch was named head coach of the Hoosiers. That season, the players all wore stickers on their helmets that said, "Don't quit," and it had the number 13 on it. Coach Lynch led the 2007 Hoosiers to a 6-6 record. The team was now bowl eligible, and they accepted a bid to the Insight Bowl in Tempe, Arizona on December 31st, 2007. Indiana lost to Oklahoma State 49-33 in the game, but they had accomplished what Hepner wanted them to do, play 13. Unfortunately, he did not get to see his former Indiana team play in that 13th game. Terry Hepner died on June 19, 2007, from a brain tumor at the age of 59. On November 6, 2010, a ceremony was held at Memorial Stadium in Bloomington. With the Hepner family in attendance, the Rock was officially renamed Hep's Rock. Today, Hep's Rock has its own Twitter account, @HepsRock. This is where fans can get all the latest information on the Indiana Hoosiers football team. While his time at Indiana was cut short by brain cancer, and he never had a winning season there, Terry Hepner left a lasting impression on the school and on his players that will live on forever. Every time that a player heads out to the field for another game and touches Hep's Rock.
Do they also have Hep's paper and Hep's scissors down there somewhere?
No, they do not. But yeah, it was an interesting story of a guy that was only there a couple of years but had a major impact on the school and the team and the players, and he'll always be remembered down there even though he was only there for a short time. All right, upcoming events calendar. Saturday, November 20th, the end of the CFL's shortened 14-game regular season. That same day, 2 longtime college football rivalry games will be played. the 137th Harvard-Yale game, and the 156th Lehigh-Lafayette game.
Oh, you forgot. Well, you skipped one.
What?
There's one thing you're missing. Tomorrow night, Wednesday, the 17th of November, HBO's Hard Knocks in season premieres featuring the Indianapolis Colts. I don't think we've ever had an in-season HBO before, so this should be interesting.
Yeah.
And now that it's on Wednesday, we can at least talk about the next that episode.
Yeah, we could talk about it next week.
Without having to be like an episode behind.
Yeah. There's another show coming out too. Man in the Arena on ESPN.
I believe that already aired the other night, and then they're every Tuesday new episodes, I think, is what the schedule says.
Well, it doesn't matter because it's featuring Tom Brady, and I have no desire to watch that one. So if you want to watch it and report on it, fine.
But it's all about how all 10 Super Bowls he was in.
I don't care.
But he lost some of them, and he won a bunch of them.
I don't care. Don't want to talk about him. Don't want to mention him. But I will watch Hard Knocks probably. Okay. Let's see. Where was I?
The 116th Michigan-Ohio State game in Ann Arbor on Saturday, November 27th. Mark your calendars. Can Michigan get their first win against Ohio State in God knows how long?
I don't know. I think it'd be Harbaugh's first win over Ohio State. That's been his Achilles heel. Not being able to beat.
Has it been his Achilles? It's been every Michigan coach's Achilles heel the last 12 years, 20 years.
And then Saturday, December 4th, up in Canada, U Sports Vanier Cup will take place in Quebec, and that is the college football championship up there in Canada. December 11th, the 122nd Army-Navy game will be played in Pittsburgh, and the following day on Sunday...
Philadelphia, not Pittsburgh.
Oh, I'm sorry, Philadelphia. And
same state, different city.
We'll start with a P. And,
all three start with C.
I said with a P.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and Pittsburgh all start with P's, and they're all in the same state, which is Pennsylvania, which is why I said Pennsylvania. Good Lord, Randy.
Hey, I'm still recovering from my surgery, and I'm taking drugs and using ice packs, and I'm surprised my voice has lasted this long.
Positively pompous posture by the... I can't think of any more P's.
And finally, on the upcoming events calendar, Sunday, December 12th, the 108th CFL Grey Cup game in Hamilton. Will the Tiger Cats be playing in their home stadium?
No.
They've got to go through Toronto, and so
in Toronto.
In Toronto, yes. I don't know if that's going to happen.
Well, first they got to get by the Alouettes first, and
right.
Will that be on the road too? So
well, yeah, we will see. We'll find out next week. All right, and that's everything that I have.
Wow, yep, everything. No more breaking news. We're good. We didn't even mention the fact that we've gone this whole show with a brand new microphone set up. Wow.
Yeah.
How are you liking this? You made it a whole show. I bought some mounts, so now the microphones are now dangling in front of our faces instead of having the base scratching against our nice tables here. How do you feel? I think this works. I can move my hands down here. I can do so much.
It's not bad. It's going to take me a little while to totally get used to it.
I'm used to it already.
But I mean, it's right in front of my face, and if I want to see you, I've got to lean one way or the other to see
That's
you.
That's fine. It blocks out your ugly, so I'm good.
Oh, thank you. All right, well, that's all the time we've got for insults this week. If you learned
I got time for insults, trust
during
me.
this podcast about the incredible amount of diversity that exists in the world of football, then we've done our job. Visit our website at theworldoffootball.com for news, links, upcoming events, videos, and more. Our email address is info@theworldoffootball.com.
You can also like The World of Football on Facebook at TWOF Kalamazoo, where we post a lot of unique stories, pictures, highlights, and other things from all over this wonderful world of football. You can also follow our Twitter, which is at TWOF Kalamazoo. New episodes of this very podcast that you're listening to right now in your ear holes are posted every single Tuesday and are available on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and on YouTube, where you can find the full audio version of this podcast. Just go search for our YouTube at The World of Football Kalamazoo. Subscribe, rate, review. Let us know what you think. Comment, everything. Please come be a part of the conversation of football. Yeah. I totally messed up that last line.
Yeah, you sure did. All right. Once again, we're doing our weekly NFL picks this year. But this
Why
year...
even bother? Can we just stop?
What? Oh, making picks?
Yeah, I had a real rough week.
It's been getting worse every week. But,
yeah.
Maybe we'll turn things around. But this year, these picks that we're making are available exclusively on our YouTube channel. So look for them on Thursdays throughout the NFL season, and that page on YouTube is The World of Football Kalamazoo. Spell that all out. There's no abbreviations. Let's see. And remember, folks, some people may love football more than we do, but nobody loves more football than we do. Join us again next week when we'll review all the happenings in and around the world of football. Until then, I'm Randy Snow.
And I'm impressed that you made it all the way through this show.
I am too. I didn't think my voice
I didn't think your voice... We were about to have a backup ready to fill in for you. This is the second time you've had some major surgery or some procedure done where we thought, oh, well, he might not be...
Well, I had a cataract
removed. Yeah, that was the other one I was thinking
That didn't affect my voice. I just
No, but I thought maybe that you would want to just rest and like not have to put in the energy to do this. And here you are. You did it. You were a spry thing. Must be that ice cream you ate before you came up.
Yeah, I'm on a like Jello, yogurt, ice cream, mashed potatoes. That's about all I can eat for the next week.
And I've been offering, and I'll put this video exclusively on our YouTube of you. I've offered to go buy you a McRib and throw it in the blender personally and feed you.
Don't insult me.
What do you mean insult you? I'm trying to give you good food while you have to eat mush.
No, I'll be making up for lost time next week and imbibing in a few McRibs while they're still available.
I'm sure. I can't wait to see that picture of you with 5 McRibs just displayed in front of you. With the caption, "Time to catch up."
Yeah. All right, that's it for this week, I guess.
Yep, I guess too. That we're not gonna have a fun stinger at the end.
We already talked McRib, so I guess we're good.
All right, bye everybody.